share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So I have to light Hanukkah candles in about 20... Oh, happy Hanukkah, by the way. In about 25 minutes, right? I have to do that. Oh, God, my baubles awry, right? But I wanted to squeeze out this video, otherwise I'm just never going to do it. I'm really excited about it, right? Mark Gatiss. I like Mark Gatiss, right? I like Mark Gatiss. We have a very, very similar taste. We like a lot of the same things. I like a lot of his work, quite frankly. Mark Gatiss is somebody who understands how wonderful, how absolutely wonderful an English Christmas is. Even though I saw him recently saying, "Oh, I'm proud, ashamed to be English." Don't listen to any of this nonsense. They'll be fine as soon as this insanity is over, whenever it may be. Okay, I'm hoping it's going to be quite soon, actually. And I know it seems like it's going on forever, but I think it's going to be sooner rather than later. Honestly, I think 2023 with the new Russell D Davies Doctor Who will be in a different world, and I think a much happier world, a much saner world. Anyway, Mark Gatiss understands what Christmas is, and he's got not one, not two, but three Christmas offerings for us this festive season. So there's an article about it in this month's SFX magazine. I thought we'll go over it together because I'm excited about all of the things. Now, I'm only going to be going over two of the three things. He has The Amazing Mr. Blunden. Can't freaking wait! I love that movie. He's doing a new version of that. He has a new PD James? Was it PD James? PR? St. James was a ghost story for Christmas, and he has a stage play, which if I was in London, I'll go and see it, of A Christmas Carol, which I'm sure is wonderful. But I'm going to skip the Christmas Carol bits, and we're going to go do a preview of The Amazing Mr. Blunden and his ghost story for Christmas, which again, a wonderful tradition, which I'm so glad that he's revived. I'm sure, a lot of you out there like the same things because you clicked on this video. Fine, like, share, subscribe, comment. All those things are good things. Thank you very much. I am very, very grateful to everybody who does that. So let's have a look at this article of it. Doink. All of Mark Gaddis's Christmas have come at once. Well, actually, mine. It's a three-pronged attack for me this year. I feel like Santa must do when he's making his toys in the middle of July. It's been Christmas for me all year round. That sounds like a wonderful way to spend the year, quite frankly, Mark. And a deeply Gatiss brand of Christmas too. The Christmas of pale midwinter light. But as I said, this is from this month's SFX magazine. If you like this article, then go and buy yourself a copy or a digital copy, which is what I did. So wait, so they're interviewing him. Oh, come back here. Where'd he go? Just saw them mention Quality Street. I tell you, my wife does know from Quality Street. Oh, is it kosher even? I have no idea. The Christmas of pale midwinter light and dark, fast encroaching evenings, the ideal season for fireside tales of hauntings. Pull up a chair, ignore the bony cold hand rummaging in the Quality Street. Well, I'm glad I went back for that. Fine, so he needs talking about Christmas Carol, which I would, oh man, the picture of it looks so good. I would love to go to that. Christmas, how about I zoom out a little bit? Christmas Carol. Okay, here we go. Gatiss' resurrection on BBC's A Ghost Story for Christmas was another tick on that career-shaping bucket list launched in 1971. It was a staple of the festive schedule. A late night, but very what? A late. Where'd it go? A late night outpost of dread. Okay, a late night outpost of dread amongst the glitz and tinsel. Yeah, that's a great way of describing it. It's such a weird piece of programming. But yeah, absolutely right way. If you've never seen them, really try to check them out. They're absolutely great. Gatiss revived the tradition 2013 with the track date Mid-Off, which I kind of like because it's a bit Jewy. I'm a bit Jewy myself, so I'm up for that. And now returns with the M.R. James, the Mezzotint. Oh, so this is only a second one? I thought he did more. But okay, fine. It's not a given at all, he tells us. After I did track date Mid-Off, I said I'd love to do do one a year. I guess he's going to say do one a year, which is what which I'm hoping as well. But it's a very hard sell. It's not like the 70s. A half-hour TV is very hard sell unless it's packaged. Oh, you see, this is the world we live in now. It's a real shame. We managed to sell distribution rights. We only have distribution rights to the previous ones, which made it sort of possible. And I think I can presume that I can. I think people just presumes I can waltz in and say, "Let me do this," but it's not. That's exactly what I think happens, right? That is exactly what I think is going down. Let me do this, but it's not true at all. It's a fine balance, and I suppose that's why I remain a sort of occasional return rather than the regular thing we all knew it should be. Yeah, I guess it was just set up the way the world's set up. Marking the 50th anniversary of the Strand, blimey, it makes sense. Yeah, it will be 50. Meslight saw Rory Kinnear as Edward Williams, as the art creator who comes into possession of a wretched graving of an English manor house. I've got to read the story before it goes out. Yeah, because you always enjoy it more when you do it. Unless they do unless they do Foundation to it, which if you haven't seen Foundation, if you like the book, avoid the TV show. Of English Manor House, the picture has eerie properties, and it details constantly shifting moonlight around around the landscape, illuminating the sudden presence of strange half glimpse figures. It's a classic skin prickling Jameson premise. The third of Gatiss James adaptation. They said it was the second. But not the story intended though. I was asked to write by BBC 4. I was asked by BBC to write an original one, which I wish he did. He shares nodding to the 2018's The Dead Room. They were very keen to keep the mix going, and I'm also keen on that. Well, I think it's not just an exercise in nostalgia. No, it's about entertainment. Even though so much of the theme of Christmas and M.R. James is about that. So I wrote a new one, which was primarily concerned about old people dying in hospitals. Obviously, that was postponed. Well, I guess so. Yeah, I said, I think people are going to want this year some M.R. James and nostalgia. I think you're absolutely right. I think I think that's what we want in general, which is why I'm so optimistic about the Russell T Davies, the Doctor Who. Because I think he understands that we want to enjoy ourselves. Right, and we don't want to be lectured. We just want to enjoy ourselves. We've had a bit of a rough time the last few years. It was actually a rather simple choice. It's a classic story. It's never been done, and it's a straightforward thing to make in the time of COVID. I had a small cast. I literally had to think like that. I did Martin's Close in 2019, and I had a tiny room packed with jurors. I remember that's the one. Packed with jurors. I couldn't have done that this time. It's one of my favorite stories. It's such a clever little idea. The picture changes every time you turn away. It has a Weeping Angels kind of aspect to it. It does it. Yeah, I'm up for this. Originally published in 1904, a collection of ghost stories for an antiquity. The Mezzotint is a sparse tale that required Gatiss to expand for TV. I've added some stuff to it to give it more of an EC Comics feel. Like, everything you say is right, Mark. Everything you're saying is right. EC Comics feel. He says, referencing the American horror comics of the 1950s for the streak of Old Testament cruelty. Williams is very much an M.R. James character, a young, foggy, that they're a fusty professor, just like James. I've given him a lot of preoccupations. He's against change, and in a slightly EC Comics way, he's punished for really not very much. Okay, that is a pretty pretty stable a staple of EC Comics. But to me, it's not really. The key is not to betray the James and subtlety and the sense of mounting dread. Yes, sense of mounting dread. You get. That's basically all you get in terms of scares in this thing. Lawrence Gordon Clark, director of the original A Ghost Story for Christmas, said to me once that you should only see the ghost once. I think was it Tractate Middle? We probably see it a bit too much, but I was enjoying it too much. Okay, but where are we? Now I've lost my place. Did I Like, skip the page. Oh, there you go. What's really good is to have that dread, and when you deliver something. Luckily, in this story, the picture does it for you because it's such a lovely idea. What's in that corner? Does it give you a creepy unease? But then you deliver on it. James is very hot on the fact that ghosts have to be malignant and not friendly like Casper. Yes, his ghosts are all really mad and not and evil, right? They're all really genuinely evil. I think they can. I think they have to be out to get you, and therefore they have to be pretty grim. Yeah. The apparitions are altogether less malevolent. It's Amazing Mr. Blunden, written directed by Gatiss for Sky. It's a remake of 72 films by Lionel Jeffries. The original Blunden is an enchanting, heart-wrenching watch. Heart-wrenching? Yeah, I guess it is, yeah. It was... it never quite ascended to the perennial classics like the Jeffries' previous film, the Runaway Children, but it kind of was a perennial classic on TV. Like, you saw it, we saw it every year in the 80s and 90s. It's strange that Pons and Gatiss, who first saw the movie projected in a primary school on a memorable final Friday before the Christmas holidays. It was quite a big hit, but the film's afterlife, isn't it? That's the key to it. Maybe maybe it's a subject matter. Maybe it's a bit. Okay, is that the end of the page? Maybe it's a bit. Next page. Maybe a bit more rarefied. To have a family ghost story. It is nice. As you know, as you and I both know, it's a bit like being the war. What? As you and I both know, it's a bit. It's like being in the war. If you know somebody who knows Blunden, they know Blunden. That's me, baby. That's why I'm looking forward to seeing it, and that's really powerful. It's a touchstone for me forever. It has a huge influence on me in terms of its combination of wistful melancholy. Yes, wistful melancholy. That's a very fair description, and it's and fun scares. It's beautiful. That's why I was initially quite trepidatious about doing a new version. I love it so much, and I don't want anyone. I don't want anyone to think I'm trying to replace it. The fact that no, I think you bring it to a new audience. The fact is, if you're trying to interest a new audience in a 50-year-old film, good luck. That's also true. We'll watch it on Talking Pictures, but you won't get an impression on 8-year-old to watch that. It depends. I guess it's all in the way it's packaged, but I don't. Maybe you put it in 30-second bites on TikTok. They might watch it. I wanted to honor the original film, but have a different version of it. I tell you the truth. This actual form of entertainment is equally dated. Yeah, which is sad because we all love it. But yeah, basically, your entertainment needs to be in 30-second slices on TikTok now, from what I can tell. I wanted to original, but have a different version of it, and I hope it succeeded. Well, I will let you know. Jeff's adaptation of the Antonio Barber's novel, The Ghost, now reissued by Virago and retitled after the film. It's a story of a widow mother and her kids, Jamie and Lucy, who are approached by the enigmatic Mr. Blunden, representative of a firm of solicitors, and entrusted with the care of a derelict fire-ravaged mansion. That's one that's haunted by two children from 1821. Gatiss returned to Barber's books as he searched for a way into his version. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. To me, no, not to me. The key to me is the book. It's written in 1969. They have a modern. They're a modern family. That was actually a real good part. It was. You had this modern family like thrust into this weird time traveling ghosty story. I thought it was a very interesting thing to explore. Lionel Jeffries was making it tacitly as a follow up to Railway Children, so it's very much the same kind of E. Nesbitt world. It's a kind of double period film. So, heavy flow that month. That's all I could. Yes. Okay. So them being a modern family was a big thing, and amping up the circumstances of losing their dad. Oh yeah. I lost my dad in May. I'm so sorry, Mark. That's so sad. I lost my father about. I'm at 3 years now. It wasn't my plan, but it came out much more. Plan, but it became much more about that than I thought it would be. Well, that's really interesting. I have to tell you, before my father's funeral, I had a few hours to kill, a couple of hours to kill. So it must have been in early 2018, right? Because I watched Twice Upon a Time, which is one of the reasons I absolutely love that story. Right, I watched it then as well because it's a story really about the doctor deciding whether or not he wants to live or die. So it's very about death. And Mark Gatill's in that too. I think that's quite a good thing to amplify. That they're slightly lost, this family, though their mum's doing their best. It's what we all want to happen. Gatiss continues. Some magic person shows up and shows up like the doctor says, "Come with me." I was impressing the production designer and the director of photography that the scene where Blunden comes to the flat, I wanted it to feel like tea time did when I was at school in the winter when you come home and the electric lights are a bit harsh and it's absolutely pitch black outside. It's only 5 o'clock. Oh, see, this is why I love Mark Gatiss, right? It's we have a shared cultural understanding. We've all been there. I hope that's what we achieved. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see you try to achieve it. Simon Callow plays Blonde in this version. I think that's a great idea. Simon has become Christmas, hasn't he? Well, he's got that plummy voice. I couldn't think of anyone else. He's absolutely. It's so funny. I had no idea he was gay. Because I guess I watched Chance in a Million, and he was married in that. So I think my guess is, looking back, the woman was probably in it. His wife in it was probably gay as well. It's perfect for it. I think he's waited all his life to play Blunden. He grew up. He grew a full beard for his first time since full weddings and funeral. And he looks like Santa. I'm hoping he gets Miracle on 34th Street. He'll be great as Miracle on 34th Street. Blunden is very Marley. He's he's trying to atone for the terrible wrong that there's. But there's something so uplifting about that. You got to be. I'm all tingly, excited already. The idea of redemption. The idea of redemption, because of Simon's expertise with Dickens, he knew that the roots of Antonio Barber's story are very much alive in A Christmas Carol. Yeah, but I guess, but are we back over that now? Gazzle has found roles for Rosalind Landor, Madeline Smith, and Stuart Locke, who started in the 72 original. Lovely. Well done, Mark. Second. I lost the beginning of the sentence. What's that to start off? It's important to give something back. And it's important. It's important to know how much we love. How much the film is loved. Yeah, I think that's right. I agree with them. Again, this is why I like Mark Gatiss. Again, he's. We're in different parts of the world. We have different outlooks on life completely. I mean, really, we do. We have absolutely fundamentally different outlooks on life. I love the way he looks at the world, right? I agree with his basic morality. Same thing with Russell T Davies, right? I think his basic morality is, well, again, I've never seen him in real life. They're one they're projecting over here. These films, we catch in childhood, haunt us forever, don't they? They find that afterlife in our bones. They really do, but they are benevolent ghosts, I think. It's not just a question of uncritical nostalgia, because we've all been through the process of seeing something again and going, oh, this isn't quite the way I remember it. I was really unimpressed with Dread last time I watched it. I was like, wow, I remember thinking this was awesome, and it's not. Sometimes they are. Sometimes they are, though. Sometimes what they have in their DNA is a kind of power. Lionel Jeffries said that he wanted to capture. What do you want to capture? The enchanted silliness. Why? In silliness or stillness? Enchanted stillness. I never. There is a lot of stillness in the 72 version. I mean, in a good way. I never forgotten that. I think it's a very powerful story. I think that it was very powerfully in the film. It's a magical story. So, just why is Christmas the optimum time for ghost stories? Great, that's what I'd love to hear Gatiss talk about. Novelist Angela Coulter talks about winter solstice. It's a huge, dark, numerous hinge of the year. Numinous? No idea what that means. Though through which all manner of supernatural beings can creep towards us. Maybe reality is just more of a preamble to Christmas. That's a nice way of putting it, Gatiss. No, I kind of like the whoever that Angela, whoever it was. They shouldn't work together, but they do. It's like dark chocolate orange. Yes, that's very Christmassy. You can't really put your finger on it because it's part of its charm. We know it's right. The clocks have gone back, and now it feels like the right time to telling these stories and enjoying them. Christmas itself is a very melancholy time for a lot of people. In fact, that's sad. I mean, listen, I always loved Christmas. I mean, even I've always loved Christmas my entire life. I can't think of any year when I haven't said it's a wonderful time of year. In fact, in the end, for everyone, you become nostalgic. You look back at who's not there anymore. I look back happily. Quite frankly, he's still feeling a loss of his father. Must be it. I think it's almost if the Shadow and Fairy Lights there is something other which we all respond to. Well, it's very timeless, isn't it? I mean, again, putting all those decorations up, the tree. Tell you, when I was a kid, I may be a rabbi. My parents had we weren't religious growing up. We had a huge Christmas tree. I freaking loved it. Absolutely loved it. But I think it's like these constant visual things that are just part of our lives that make it somewhat timeless, right? It's finally we're in like this weird null Christmas time. Christmas will be very overheated, very exhausted, but the darkness surrounding it is something else, something very much more interesting going on. You know what I think it is? I think the great thing about Christmas, Hanukkah, this time of year is we celebrate light, especially with Hanukkah. We celebrate light, and that light is a very warm light. It's in Jewish philosophy, it's like a messianic light. But to appreciate the light, you can only appreciate light if you see the cold, right? If you appreciate the cold and the darkness next to it, which is maybe why we like these ghost stories on Christmas. I really don't know why. I'm just really, really glad. I'm just really, really glad that we're experiencing it. The Amazing Mr. Blunders on Sky Max and Mesonite on BBC Two this Christmas. Don't know when. I guess they release the schedules way before they. Way before they print this. But anyway, Mr. Gatiss, you are giving us a fine Christmas stocking. Thank you very much. I am looking forward to everything you're offering, and I just wish I could go to London and see your version of A Christmas Carol. I bet it's absolutely fantastic. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop.